Hi, it's Alaska Granny. No matter where you live, there are emergencies that occur. It can be a power outage, a winter storm, a tornado, a hurricane, an earthquake, and it can even be things like a job loss or like we just went through this pandemic. If you think back to emergency situations that you've been through before, people are scared. They're not prepared. They run to the store and they load up on the things that they should have had before. What are those things that people are grabbing out of the store? What are the prepping supplies that run out first? If you know what those things are, you can make sure that you have a supply of those and that you are prepared, and then you're not scared. You will be able to deal with and ride out the emergencies that come to all of us at some time or another. The first thing that runs out is water. Everyone should have several days worth of water in their home. The recommendations are 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. And that is not very much water if you think about how much you use in a day. So you need to make sure that you're stocking up on water so that you won't be those people getting in the long lines behind those watering trucks that we've seen on the news. You will have the things you need and you can remain safely in your home. The next prepping item that runs out is gasoline. People go straight to the gas station. They get in big long lines. Sometimes they'll pay anything, and sometimes you can't get anything because if there's no electricity, the pumps don't run. So make it a habit to fill up your gas tank before it gets below a half. Just keep filling it up. Make it a part of your existence, just like you do loading and unloading the dishwasher. Keep aware of how much gas is in your car and fill it up when it gets below a half. Then you need to think about the fuel that you need. If the power went out and you needed to do some emergency cooking, do you have some propane for your barbecue? Do you have the little tanks that maybe you use on your camping stove? Do you have charcoal if you're planning on using your barbecue grill? Figure out what is the emergency plan that you have for how you're going to cook, and then make sure you have extra of that fuel. Everything from butane, propane, charcoal, even candles. Whatever method you're planning on using to cook food and heat things up in an emergency, make sure that you have extra of that with your supplies. The next supply that runs out is canned food. Don't just get any canned food. If one looks interesting, buy it, take it home and try it. If you like it, get some more. Choose the already ready-to-eat meals that are already full meals that you can open the can and eat it. Because if you don't have a way to heat it up in an emergency, you can open the can and eat the food anyway. My family likes mini ravioli, and when I couldn't get it during the pandemic, I bought some of the lasagna. I thought, how different could it be? Well, it is different, and no one likes this one. The ravioli has meat and different flavored sauce, and the lasagna is basically just soggy noodles with just tomato sauce. So I was really disappointed in this one, so luckily I only bought a few, and I've been able to rotate them in, hiding them in other meals. So don't load up on food that you aren't willing to eat. Get a variety of canned foods, everything from soups to chilies, canned meats, fruits, and vegetables. But the canned fruits aren't going to last nearly as long as others. I've had lots of problems with storing canned fruit, and I prefer to find either dried fruit or freeze-dried, dehydrated fruit for my long-term food storage stockpile. So make sure whatever canned foods that you're stocking, you're willing to eat them, and then you're rotating them and replacing them. Be creative. You can find nuts and even cookies in a can, so they're going to last in your long-term food storage too. Anybody who was alive in 2020 knows that toilet paper was practically ridiculous to try to find it. And so make sure you have a stockpile for your family. There's no reason to be going without toilet paper. It's not an apocalypse, but it could seem like one if you don't have any. Stock up on the batteries that fit your flashlights, radios, and emergency battery-operated gear, whatever it is that you have. I also then got this solar panel that you can charge, and it's a battery bank. It has a solar panel built in it, and you can charge it up, and then you can use it with the cord to charge up USB-related items. It also has a built-in flashlight, and it's great. You can plug it in and charge it up, or just let it sit out in the sun. It has a nice big solar panel, and you can charge it up that way. The main reason that having an external battery bank works for me is I spend a lot of time out here at my granny camp, which is my Alaska off-grid cabin, and if I want to charge up my phone, if I want to charge up a little fan or a little light, I can do that with this battery pack. Get some little solar lights. These work great. They have a solar panel on the top. It charges up the little light. You can even remove them from the stake and even put them in a jar or something if you want to use them on the tabletop. And then the little light is very bright. I've put these around in my yard in Alaska. They get buried under the snow. When the snow melts, they're still working. They're sturdy. You can pick them up for $1 or $2. They're definitely worth it. Leave the little tab in place. Once you pull that out, it activates it. They're already charged up. So in an emergency, if you have some of these, you can pull out the tab and it will work. Once you pull out the tab, you have to put it back in the sunshine to allow it to charge up again, and it will. If you have an emergency in the nighttime and they're not already charged up, then they're not going to be much use to you. Teddy, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. We're having fun. Don't cry. If you have pets, make sure you have the supplies that you need. Food, kitty litter, treats, whatever your pet counts on you having for them, including an extra supply of water, have those supplies on hand so that you aren't in an emergency trying to go out to the store, fighting with crowds of people, grasping at the last bit of pet food for the one that counts on you. Your pets cannot supply anything for themselves. They can supply love for you, even protection. It's up to you to provide their necessities. Do you have babies in your family? Make sure that you have any diapers, wipes, formula, anything that your baby requires. I know when I went out to the store a few months ago during the pandemic, the baby formula case was empty. I can't imagine being a new mother and if you needed formula for your baby and then go to the store and it isn't available. I was just shocked, and then it made me worry about all the little babies and their moms. And you don't ever want to have that kind of an experience where you can't feed your most precious gift of your baby. If you need feminine hygiene supplies, make sure you have a stockpile of those. Think about vices. People go crazy if they can't have their vices. So if there's something that you want or someone that's close to you might count on having, or even something that you think maybe you might want to barter, then you want to make sure that you have those available. People just go crazy without them just over a few days. It could be as simple as special coffees, a cocktail, who knows? But whatever it is that you count on having on a day-to-day basis, that's what you should have in your stockpile. Things that you want to have in your life. That's what you stockpile. Hardships come to everyone. Stock up on the things that you count on having. Make sure that you have these preps that disappear first. The first things that go in an emergency situation, then you can stay at home and use your things and enjoy the days of your life and make the best of them, because that's what prepping is, lifestyle insurance. So ensure that your days will be the best that you can make them. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel. What made you scared? Why are you scared? We're prepared, not scared. Don't cry. Okay?